Hello, me. I'm the only one watching at the moment. So hello, myself. So seeing as I'm in the mood to get out there, people that know me know that I go through 6 months of getting out there and then 6 months of hibernating. I'm a Cancerian. I've got a shell. I go in it sometimes. So, Tripolar. I wrote this. It took a whole year, every single day, for about a year, in about 2011-ish. So it kind of, it's an autobiography, but not focusing on the bad bits. Because I used to get up most days when I wasn't at home, go into work an hour or so early, sit in a cafe, write, and then go to work. And it's what got me through the day. So it was therapy for a year. So I'm going to read some of it. I don't know if I'm going to do the whole lot. Obviously, I'm not going to do the whole lot today, but maybe I'll just do a few bits and pieces every now and again. So the back. So yeah, that's me with me boys. So Tripolar. A year in the life of a single mum. So the back. Today I will start my book again. The trick is to get past the first chapter or sentence. So far, so good. Since I'm at this stage, I have no doubt got a plot or a plan regarding the contents. No doubt. I would like to dedicate this book to everyone who ever wanted to write a book but had no idea what to write it about. So that is actually the first part of the book. So a year, approximately 2011, I think, in the life of a single mum. A really rubbish short introduction due to not having a clue what a prologue is. Also, this is very 2011, and very English. So 2011, there were programs on the television that aren't on the television anymore. There are programs that were only on in England that you probably had to be there at the time. And I was. So here we go. I would like to dedicate this book to everyone who ever wanted to write a book but had no idea what to write it about. I am very optimistic that by the end of this book, it will definitely have been about something. After reading and rereading and rereading, it might be a good idea to highlight the fact that it really doesn't have a plot. The whole thing is just words that I have just written and rewritten and rewritten. It's sort of a diary without dates. It's sort of a book about writing a book without anything in it resembling a book. It is therapy, and it's probably only relevant to me. But I did it, I finished it, and you're reading it. You're not reading it, you're listening to it. Hic goes. Apparently that was Latin for here goes. I found a Latin translating thing online and thought it would make a cool end to my introduction. But it just looks rubbish, and goes doesn't even look like a Latin word, so something has gone drastically wrong already. A first chapter. Probably. Nancy, that's what I call myself for some strange reason. Nancy had no idea what she wanted to write her book about, so she spent 20 years not writing it. Then, after one considerable bout of depression this Christmas, she decided to give it another go. She had lost a floppy disk. See how old this is? She had lost a floppy disk. She had stored her last half-baked effort on, so literally had to start from scratch. She didn't find writing with a dog perched on her head, actually half on her head and half on the back of the sofa, blocking out all of the heat from the radiator, or DJ Hero blasting out the dulcet tones of, my name is, my name is, my name is Slim Shady, a problem. Until the roost part of the song, when she dutifully and half-heartedly said, turn it off, only to be ignored. Hi, Gary. Never mind, she had more than one paragraph written down. Result. The Christmas tree was a bit distracting. The light had broken the day after they were put on, and the chocolates were now only bits of gold string with a small ball of silver foil dangling from the odd branch. There were none of the usual traditional sentimental decorations anywhere. This year, a mouse family had decided to move into the loft. They had then decided to make a home in the usual traditional sentimental decorations, and quite frankly, she didn't have the heart to evict them at Christmas. And there was no way she was ever going near a mouse family voluntarily in her life. So last-minute factory shop ones would have to do. Rubbish. She comforted herself in the fact that no self-respecting mouse would be seen dead snuggling up to the silver plastic Father Christmas that now found itself unaesthetically close to a bit of golden chocolate string. The dog moved, and half an hour later she realised that her head had been in a very uncomfortable position, and this was probably why she had been staring at the bald Christmas tree instead of writing her book. The phone rang. It was her 13-year-old son telling her he had missed the bus because Martin had lost his phone in the cinema and had to go back for it. But don't worry, they would catch the next one. She guiltily realised that she had forgotten that he had been at the cinema for the last 8 hours, so was extremely understanding about the bus missing misdemeanour. Maybe she could write a book about writing a book. Inspired. She now had a plan. She realised that you were supposed to take 3 months making a plan. Some bloke on daytime TV had said so. But seriously, she had spent 20 years trying to come up with a plan, and this was the best she had come up with by far. Oh no, was that another introduction? She decided that if she ever finished her book, she would have to market it at people who really didn't have a clue about introductions and the like. For it wouldn't take long for her to be sussed out. She wasn't an author at all. She was just a mum with dodgy Christmas tree decorations. Are you going to publish it? Said 13-year-old son back from the cinema. I don't know, said mum with dodgy Christmas tree decorations. I doubt it, said 13-year-old son back from cinema. Oh, thanks, said mum with dodgy Christmas tree decorations. Watching someone play Wii Fit is definitely distracting. She only resumed her writing when it was time for youngest son covered in glue to take a loo break. Okay, now I'm on fire, I'll set the scene. 2 kids, 1 dog, a mother. 4, or was it 3 fish? The water was so brown she couldn't remember. 1 had puffed up and had to be buried. 1 had died of natural causes, and 1 got stressed out when its house was being cleaned. She could relate to this one. She wondered why she had put the dog before her mother. Then she remembered. All lived happily ever after in an ex-council house next to a railway tunnel. It was so irritating that ex-council houses look more rubbish than their council house relatives. Once you've bought the bloody thing, you can't afford to do it up. Bloody hell, she had just Googled how many words in an average novel. 60,000. She was currently on 836. From now on, all word counts would be totally incorrect due to her not realising she would have to read, reread, reread, and subsequently do nearly everything she had written in the first place. Maths. 60,000 divided by 1,000 was 60,100 probably. Just so you know, she excelled in art and did whatever the opposite to excel is in maths. How many days is that for heaven's sake? 13-year-old son back from the cinema said it was 60 days. That sounded okay, but she wasn't entirely sure if that was right. Technically, that meant she could write 6 books in a year. That didn't sound right either. You only had to look at Lord of the Rings to realise that the maths just didn't add up. Only 90 more words to write, and she could go into the depression forum on the internet to see if anyone had replied to her post about eating disorders. She wondered to herself why she took 20 years to do this. It was brilliant and dead easy. Maybe after 30,000 words, she wouldn't even need the depression forum on the internet. She had immediate sense of achievement. Day 1, 1,000 words exactly. If she wrote this bit and this bit, dum-de-dum, 995, 997, and 998 tortoise. So that is the end of chapter 1. I'm probably going to take a long time to do this, so I'm just going to do 1 chapter at a time, because I know not a lot of people have got much attention spans these days. So that was chapter 1 of Tripolar, the book I wrote in about 2011, when my dog was alive and my mum was alive, Mark wasn't on the scene, and my 2 boys lived with me. It's all changed now. It's very sentimental and I might cry, but that'll do for today.